The calendar flips to July and San Antonio FC makes their return to Toyota Field in San Antonio to host Monterey Bay FC in a Western Conference matchup on Independence Day. Hello everyone, along with Katie Goodman and the rest of the crew, I'm Carl Schoening. Thank y'all for joining us on ESPN Plus and happy 4th of July. Katie, it's been a while since I last saw you. The last home match was May 23rd here against Sacramento Republic FC, and it's been quite a run for SAFC since to return here to Independence Day.
Yeah, 6 of the last 7 games have been on the road, only 1 loss to report back on, and so this team has done incredible. Now we've got Monterey Bay FC, number 12, taking on San Antonio FC, number 2. You can look at the record. San Antonio is really great at home, but Monterey Bay has struggled on the road. Their shots on target, just a little bit of a difference, but San Antonio FC definitely putting up more shots as of late. Biggest thing for me that sticks out here is 17 assists to Monterey Bay FC's 9. You can see where they've struggled to combine work as a team, where San Antonio, anyone can put it away on any given day.
Back on April 4th, these two teams met in Monterey Bay to a scoreless draw after full time. But we'll get to some of the Monterey Bay players a little bit later. We start off with a pair of San Antonio FC players, mainly in his first season in goal. Joey Petruni's done a stellar job for San Antonio.
Incredible work. I mean, from saving PKs to getting the second ball and even his distribution, you can see why. 37 saves, that's 3rd in the USL, 74% save percentage at 4th, and then 4 clean sheets at 5th. So as you can see, he's just topping the charts there, and even the fans have voted him mid-season goalkeeper of the year. Definitely warranted for his ability and his work ethic. And, you know, Joey is a homegrown San Antonio native, so I can see why he's got a lot of fans.
And somebody who's really established himself as a staple in San Antonio FC lineup is Jorge Hernandez, as he has a little bit of record keeping of his own.
It seems like every time we talk about Jorge, he's breaking another record. Youngest player in the USL Championship to reach 40 regular season assists. He's the 10th to do it, but the youngest ever to do it. And everyone knows his name. They have his name number circled on the stat sheet. They know he's really tricky through the middle. He can put it away. He's patient. He's creative.
We're guaranteed fireworks tonight here between Monterey Bay FC and San Antonio FC as the San Antonio FC team returns to Toyota Field for the first time since May 23rd. It'll be a fun one tonight between two teams on opposite ends of the table here in San Antonio. The calendar flips to July and San Antonio FC makes their return to Toyota Field in San Antonio to host Monterey Bay FC. flips to July, and San Antonio FC makes their return to Toyota Field in San Antonio to host Monterey Bay FC in a Western Conference matchup on Independence Day. Hello, everyone. Along with Katie Goodman and the rest of the crew, I'm Carl Schoening. Thank y'all for joining us on ESPN Plus, and happy 4th of July. Katie, it's been a while since I last saw you. The last home match was May 23rd here against Sacramento Republic FC, and it's been quite a run for SAFC since to return here to Independence Day.
Yeah, 6 of the last 7 games have been on the road, only 1 loss to report back on, and so this team has done incredible. Now we've got Monterey Bay FC, number 12, taking on San Antonio FC, number 2. You can look at the record. San Antonio is really great at home, but Monterey Bay has struggled on the road. Their shots on target, just a little bit of a difference, but San Antonio FC definitely putting up more shots as of late. Biggest thing for me that sticks out here is 17 assists to Monterey Bay FC's 9. You can see where they've struggled to combine work as a team, where San Antonio, anyone can put it away on any given day.
Back on April 4th, these two teams met in Monterey Bay to a scoreless draw after full time. But we'll get to some of the Monterey Bay players a little bit later. We start off with a pair of San Antonio FC players, mainly in his first season in goal. Joey Petruni's done a stellar job for San Antonio.
Incredible work. I mean, from saving PKs to getting the second ball and even his distribution, you can see why. 37 saves, that's 3rd in the USL, 74% save percentage at 4th, and then 4 clean sheets at 5th. So as you can see, he's just topping the charts there, and even the fans have voted him mid-season goalkeeper of the year. Definitely warranted for his ability and his work ethic. And, you know, Joey is a homegrown San Antonio native, so I can see why he's got a lot of fans.
And somebody who's really established himself as a staple in San Antonio FC lineup is Jorge Hernandez, as he has a little bit of record keeping of his own.
It seems like every time we talk about Jorge, he's breaking another record. Youngest player in the USL Championship to reach 40 regular season assists. He's the 10th to do it, but the youngest ever to do it. And everyone knows his name. They have his name number circled on the stat sheet. They know he's really tricky through the middle. He can put it away. He's patient. He's creative.
We're guaranteed fireworks tonight here between Monterey Bay FC and San Antonio FC as the San Antonio FC team returns to Toyota Field for the first time since May 23rd. It'll be a fun one tonight between two teams on opposite ends of the table here in San Antonio.
Built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built stronger. Built louder. Built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Toyota. Let's go places.
As America gears up for the biggest celebration in our history, Texas is putting our own spin on it. Like, our fireworks aren't just in the sky. We don't beat the heat, we embrace it. Marching to the band looks a little different. And we Texans even have our very own place to engage in the pursuit of happiness. At America's 250th, no store does more to help the Lone Star celebrate, along with the other 49, than HEB.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future nurses' aides through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hut crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's hut crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
What do you do when you throw out your back?
Use caution when lifting heavy objects.
How do I eliminate back pain?
I'm not tracking any rain right now.
Back pain.
Got it. Calling back Shane.
Forget it.
Sorry, didn't get that. High-quality emergency care. Find your nearest location.
San Antonio FC Soccer is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Methodist Healthcare, proudly offering 10 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. Sunset is about 30 minutes away here in Central Texas. I'm Carl Schoening along with Katie Goodman. Let's check out the starting lineups brought to you by Rico's. The first starting 11 we look at here, Monterey Bay FC.
You can see they're in a 4-4-2 here, a little bit more of a defensive mindset going into this really strong SAFC team. You've got Sebastian Yajet. You can expect him to also move towards the middle a little bit more creative movement up top between him, Paul, and Leggett. And then, of course, you got Glasgow and Garcia Jr. working up the flanks.
And for Carlos Hermosa's squad, they're going to go with a 3-4-2-1 is what we determined.
Yes, it's a formation that's worked really well for San Antonio FC. You've got Eurofave there up top. You can expect him to also find himself in that middle position. He's been in the right place at the right time. 7 goal contributions in the last 7 games, so that should say something. But of course, San Antonio FC, a group who can really be malleable. If they need to get back on defense, you've got Hakeem O'Connor-Ward there who can slide back.
You might notice there that San Antonio FC will be wearing the red, white, and blue kits, the stars and stripes. Carlos Hermosa will be wearing the standard silver and black for the San Antonio Spurs organization. He's in his 2nd season with SAFC. And
he's done so well at that. Has had caps with the U.S. men's national team, is also really fond of Colombia, being from Colombia. I had a chance to ask him about the World Cup, and he thinks our U.S. soccer guys have a chance to take on Belgium and get past that one into the next round. So always good to see.
Should be a fun one. And then on the other side for Monterey Bay FC, Alex Covello got the job, officially hired April 23rd, and he turned this team around in a month.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him as well, and he just said the buy-in from these guys is extraordinary. Their ability to adapt, a new coach mid-season, and it's their mindset and their heart, their never-say-die attitude that has started creating some wins and traction for them here.
Elijah Paul seemed ready to kick things off before SAFC could take formation, and I believe it'll actually be San Antonio FC with the Pizza Hut kickoff here, as Jorge Hernandez looks like he is on the mark, ready to get things going in center circle. I do suspect there will be hydration breaks this evening, as 92 degrees at kickoff, high of 95 today seems to be the usual mathematical equation.
Yes, unlike every single game in the World Cup that maybe doesn't warrant it, I would say 92 degrees is definitely warranting of a water break.
Elijah Paul pressuring Joey Petruni there on a very quick send backwards to send it forward, and a goal kick to open things up will be the first touch here for Jacob Jackson, who has started the last 4 USL Championship matches for Monterey Bay FC. Has done a solid job coming off of a clean sheet against El Paso Locomotive in the last match.
Working with a 71.4% save percentage, so you know, that's the beauty of a new coach. A lot of players get a second chance and a second look with a new set of lens, right? And so things are definitely looking different now at this point in the season versus the beginning. And that was quite the collision there between Mitch Tainer. Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, expect a few yellow cards tonight, as Wesley Leggett was the one who took the shot from behind there from Mitch Tainer. SAFC only 1 card behind from Phoenix with 45 yellow cards for the 2nd most in USL Championship, and 5th with 35 is Monterey Bay FC. And we're going to have a fun time between Leggett and Leggett, which look very similar to my dyslexia on the roster chart.
Well, we'll give you a pass on that one. How about that? But no, I mean, Sebastian Leggett has been known in the FC Dallas system for a while, did a lot of work out there, also played for West Ham at one point, and has just had an extraordinary career. A lot of people have put his name on the mat for dating Becky G, and luckily they're still together and very happily so, if you guys were wanting the tea. But now it's all business for Sebastian here, as he's really been able to start contributing here in the last few games. I think Coach Covello just finding the right spot for him here in the middle of the park.
Alex Cernali, too, cutting out that very dangerous play in the box. Let's check out the injury report, as you see out for SAFC, Alex Graves and Thiago Suarez, both of them dealing with lower body injuries, and a big name to mention out on the other side for Monterey Bay FC is Riley Bitois, their leading goal scorer. He has 4 on the season. He will not be available for Monterey Bay FC this evening.
Really unfortunate when your leading goal scorer just can't make it, but this is a really important time for Monterey Bay. It's not about just putting up results and goals. It's about what you're doing in between the boxes and the developments into the attack as things get a little chippy here.
Sebastian Leggett will kick it back. Joel Garcia Jr. sends it all the way to the back line for the captain touch there, Nico Gordon. Nakamura in the center circle sends it back to the defensive half of the pitch. Farnsworth working it wide, and a whistle will be our first free kick of the evening, awarded to Monterey Bay FC. Checking out Katie's keys, SAFC's keys to victory, Katie.
We want to be on the lookout for that second ball around the box. I think the back line for Monterey Bay has struggled a little bit just to make that clearance. So some opportunities there probably for a goal. And then also just being aware of that transition. You know, San Antonio at times can get really eager going into that attack with a high press and leave themselves exposed in the back.
We'll get to Monterey Bay's keys here in a moment here as SAFC is working at their first real chance. Jorge Hernandez looking for a cross into the box. Tries it right on frame, but absorbed there by Jacob Jackson for the first save of the evening. And now Katie's keys for Monterey Bay FC.
Yeah, anything's possible. Bring your best. They're sitting at the bottom of the table right now, but that really means nothing. If you've seen the World Cup, you've seen the upsets, you've seen the close calls, anything is possible, and they've got to forget what's happened in the past and make the best of this last half of the season. And the win their best is with combination play and on the flanks. And, you know, if you can see them start making a couple short, quick passes, they're going to start firing up and getting some momentum.
High press from SAFC forced a long kick there from Jacob Jackson. Ends up to opposing goal in Joey Petruni, and SAFC will control.
And speaking of that combination play, I think that's something that Coach Cavello has brought to this team is, you know, just settling the ball down instead of out in the air, haphazard clearances. They've really settled, really tried to build out of the back, and you've seen some really cool combinations there up top. And, of course, they do really good getting up into those corners and getting crosses in, so you can expect a lot of that.
Alex Covello, you had a chance to talk to him. I listened to the recording. Seems like a cool Spaniard to play for.
Yeah.
He had a nice vibe about him, and he spent a lot of time with the youth of this sport, and most notably and most recently on his coaching resume, he was an assistant with Team USA in the Paris Olympic Games. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Katie, Team USA and the Olympic teams are limited to U23. So he's somebody who has also spent some time among the youth of this league.
Yes, and that was back in 2024, and he said they went up against Morocco, and as we know, Morocco's a pretty good team, having made their way here into the next round of the World Cup. But yeah, he himself is from Spain, and so on that call, he was definitely keeping track of the score there with Spain. Luckily, they were a goal up by the time we were talking.
Yeah, made things a lot easier there as Cal draws a foul, and SAFC will work out of their defensive half of the pitch. Mikey Maldonado switches the pitch to Crognale. Alex Crognale's third on the team with 4 goals, even though he's a defender. Collision will result in a free kick here for SAFC as Farnsworth got a little too much into the grill of Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can expect that. Everyone knows Jorge is really tricky and shifty, so sometimes that ends up being in a foul.
Mitch Tanner with a nice diagonal pass to find the playmaker, Hernandez. Another foul as Jorge Hernandez this time draws it against Kevin Njai.
To say that his name is circled on the sheet is unnecessary because, yeah, you can see here Shifty using his body well and a full-on bear hug to send him to the pitch there. The funny part is the, hey, that wasn't me. That wasn't a foul, sir. That was a full-on bear hug. That was, in fact, a foul.
And Jorge Hernandez, who had both assists on the 2 goals that SAFC had in their last road match in Colorado Springs, has a dangerous set piece here at the edge of the attacking third. Goes right for goal, and it'll be an easy enough catch there for Jacob Jackson.
Too bad for San Antonio FC to not be able to put it more in the mix there because Monterey Bay has struggled a little bit out of the air to make those clearances. And so I think if San Antonio FC can continue to work to earn those set pieces, they may have an advantage there, especially you've got guys like Barbier and Crognale who've got some height and stature.
Garcia was trying to send a long send there to Elijah Paul, overshot him. Petruni building out of the back here to Mitch Tanner. On the note, though, of Alex Cavello, somebody who took over this team as Petruni has to get rid of that one quickly, and the high pressure will just be sent across here by Mitch Tanner, high in the air by Farnsworth. But the start of the season for Monterey Bay FC, they only scored 2 points, one of them coming in the draw against SAFC in this physical fight for the ball. Tanner's able to knock it to Kolob. But in those first 9 USL Championship matches of the season, only 2 points and 6 goals for Monterey Bay FC. And since that point, the first win of the season back on May 23rd, as this one will bounce past the back line and then be collected by Jacob Jackson. Monterey Bay, in their last 5 matches, have 9 goals and 12 points. So they're certainly turning it around. Don't let those 14 points fool you. The first quarter of the season, and you just switch things up with a new coach, and next thing you know, you might be talking about Alex Cobello, as the coach of the year if he can continue this kind of turnaround.
Yeah, ain't over till it's over by any means. And in the last matchup between these two teams, it was a 0-0 result back on April 4th. And so they've had the pleasure of already playing each other, knowing what to expect, and now some fresh set of eyes with Coach Covello.
Eurofave sent that one high in the air, and now it's pulled down by Monterey Bay as Nick Ross will send it to the center of the pitch. Cole will break it up. Sorto collects here for Hernandez to operate. Mitri Eurofave. Jorge Hernandez across the 18. Leaves it back for Eurofave, and a little bit errant on that pass. Bounces out to Mikey Maldonado. Emil Cuello. Ahead to Jorge Hernandez. A low cross, nobody there to receive, and an easy hop on top by Jackson.
Still a quality run there, though, from Jorge Hernandez. We've seen him create goals from that exact position before. Was just a little bit less patient on that last one as he's there to get on the end of it. Just didn't have the bodies in the box that he needed. But I really think if he'd maybe stood him up a little bit, he might have had a chance one-on-one there.
One of those plays where it felt to me like he was looking to create for somebody else, but if you're the official scorekeeper, you might actually call that a shot on target. Either way, easily handled there by Jacob Jackson.
I think what I love about this matchup so far is that both teams have come out with absolute fire. There's nobody really dominating one more than the other, and even San Antonio FC is struggling to get things going here in the attack.
A little strong from Kyle to Akeem O'Connor Ward, and he's not able to beat it to the touchline as the good defense there from Omari Glasgow will give the throw in here to Monterey Bay.
It seems as though that last pass for San Antonio FC is just off by a hair. I mean, that one obviously, but I mean, the last couple of chances that they've had have just been a little bit awry, and they're gonna have to find a way to get their momentum. It might be a struggle when you've got this really physical team.
Jorge Hernandez tripped up just outside the penalty arc. No whistle. We play on. Monterey Bay has a chance to counter.
Really great tackle there by Emil Cuello. Does such a great job just managing that flank, whether it's getting up or standing up a defender.
Cuello slows it down. Monterey Bay FC now trying to build out of their defensive half of the pitch in some space where it'll be easily touched away there by Barbier. Ball up for grabs. Cuello will collect. Jorge Hernandez with the head to lead on here to Cuello. Cuello looking for the cross. Denied. And then a foul from behind on Cuello as Wesley Leggett not only broke up the play, draws the foul.
Incredible box-to-box guy, as you can see. He's been a key piece for Monterey Bay in the past, just getting into the attack, being the creator of goals, and now here on the flip side, going all the way to the inline to defend. San Antonio giving a little bit of that spice right back to Monterey Bay here with the push. Interesting how only 12 minutes in, things are so chippy, so it's going to be on the ref to try to manage this to keep things from escalating.
By the way, we didn't get a chance to talk to our referee head on, but we've been told he wants to go by Sergi. So Sergi will be our referee's name tonight. I wanted to know his last name, but we were told not to worry about it.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. we'll refer to him as Sergi.
Yeah, well, we give it a shot here. Demironskuk is my guess there, but didn't really ever get any answer except don't worry about it, just call him Sergi. So those were our officials, and now he has a chance to look on wearing the yellow jersey and Monterey Bay collecting. Something that threw me off last match was the Stars and Stripes kit were worn by SAFC, while the Colorado Springs Switchbacks were wearing something that looked like an old SAFC kit with black jerseys and silver letters.
Yeah, it's almost as if they had switched, but they brought out this Star and Stripes kit in honor of the U.S. men's national team. And what I love about it is they have stars there on the kit. It kind of reminds me of the 1994 denim jersey that U.S. men's national team wore. And I just love that they're getting in to the spirit of the World Cup because it's such an international team. You've got, the coach from Colombia. You've got guys who are French, Mexican, Argentinian, Portuguese. And so it's just, soccer as a sport is meant to be culturally deep. And even on the other side here, we've got guys from Canada, Japan, England, Scotland. And so just a diverse group of guys, and that's what makes the game so beautiful.
Yeah, very deep and diverse talent pool if the World Cup shows nothing else.
Yeah.
I believe I was watching your Instagram story, and Cape Verde had next to nobody that was actually playing high-level soccer, and that's likely to change.
Yeah, most guys were in third division leagues that most people hadn't heard of. Their goalkeeper, Vozina, had actually not even been playing at all. He just came out and had the performance of a lifetime. And, I mean, what an emotional game that was last night. Just to, broke my heart to see them have to go home. But you know what? They weren't beat in 90 minutes, and I think everyone in the world gained some inspiration from that team. And when you look at, this Monterey Bay team who struggled, they've had a lot working against them. I hope they're able to also take some inspiration from that.
Plenty of season left, and they certainly are trying to ride some momentum here. Footnote, Monterey Bay FC has been in USL Championship and a team in general since 2022, the year SAFC won the USL Championship, and SAFC has yet to lose to Monterey Bay FC. So they're looking for their first victory against SAFC. They had to settle for a scoreless draw back on April 4th in their first meeting this season. Sure, they were happy to settle for that draw since that was one of only 2 points in the first 9 USL Championship matches for Monterey Bay FC. Quarter hour into the match. Plenty of physicality, no real threats on goal. Trying to change that here. Elijah Paul. Flag is up, he was offside. Chance to create there, but nothing going as Kevin Najai couldn't quite thread the needle. Good communication from the back line of SAFC to step up.
Yeah, and just looking back on that offside call, good call there from the ref as guy in the corner up top, just a couple steps off. There's no VAR line here to tell us how far off he was, but I think that one you can see here from this angle.
Yeah, I guess it depends on your opinion of soccer or football, if that is a good or a bad thing that there's no VAR in USL Championship. I mean, I wouldn't mind a replay to look back, but the whole line thing where your pinky finger keeps you offside is ridiculous and ruins the game and the flow of it. I think as long as both feet are onside with the last defender, you should be okay. But hey, that's just me. I don't make the rules. Yeah, elbows. Yeah, if your elbow is offside, it is technically offside. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. We have our first corner kick of the night. It belongs to San Antonio FC as Emil Cuello will do the honors. Cuello with no short option. Eurofab a little far to be a short option. He's looking for frame. Jorge Hernandez usually handles these, and he will now step up and handle the corner kick. Cuello will head towards the 6. Jorge Hernandez right in front of the San Antonio FC faithful, trying to give him a rhythm on this corner. Powell will take it at the 18. Looking for some space, bounced it through, denied at the goal line, and then the follow-up there by Cuello goes over the crossbar.
Good effort there for San Antonio FC, just not able to put it on frame, but this is what I'm talking about, going for that second, third ball. I think something Monterey Bay has struggled with is just getting that official clearance the first time out, and you know, San Antonio has done their homework. Unfortunately, ref there, Sergi, a little bit in the way, but that's okay. He can only do so much, but solid effort there from SAFC.
Jacob Jackson has been looking to build out of the back, and SAFC has been bringing the pressure in return. Goal kick for Monterey Bay FC. Jackson navigates it across the 18, almost an errant pass. Good job by Farnsworth to collect and send it a little forward, and then a little miscommunication on whether or not that was meant for Leggett or Leger. Will be a throw in for SAFC at the edge of their attacking third. Cuello able to get it off of a width, looking for a cross. Doesn't have a runner, so he'll retreat backwards a little. Callum couldn't split the defenders. Leggett knocked it loose, and then Leggett sends it all the way to Joey Petruni. Mitch Tanner across midfield. Jorge Hernandez pushed down from behind. Farnsworth saying, hey, he sold that, but Sergi is not going to be denied his whistle.
Yeah, I mean, definitely wasn't putting the brakes on there. I think fully expecting Jorge maybe to put a little pressure back, but Jorge's definitely going to make the most of that situation. And, you know, that's the thing about him is he's really intelligent in the moment about what the best thing to do is. And, you know, you might say, hey, soccer players, they're always flopping, and, you know, but there's a reason for it. It stops momentum. It gets the set piece. There's a lot of things that would not have happened without really selling a foul, and it's just part of the game.
Jorge Hernandez will line up this ensuing free kick that he earned for SAFC. Options to go left or right here as he's in the middle of the pitch. Hernandez giving the okay. Rolls it over to the left side. Emil Cuello. Hernandez had it deflected out by Leggett. Pushing the other way. Monterey Bay on a counter. Jorge Hernandez broke that one up. Good effort by Amari Glasgow, but SAFC able to sniff out the fast break opportunity.
I think most players on average would have pulled away and tried to mark Leggett, but instead, I love how Jorge just stood up the player, stayed patient, composed. You could see that confidence there and was able to stop the delivery altogether.
Both teams being very methodical, building from the inside of the box, and then Mitch Tanner reverting back to his old ways with a long send. Hakeem O'Connor Ward able to play it down. Mitri Yerofave back to Collins. Sorto with a one-touch. Kirk Collins over the left side. Emil Cuello. Cuello with the chip across the face of goal, and Yerofave can't pull it down.
Yerofave nominated for Young Player of the Year this past mid-season, just for all of his goal contributions, and it's a great cross in, just not able to get on the end of it there. Little bit oversold.
Wind is only about 7 miles an hour going into the face of Jacob Jackson, and very thankfully we have shifted kickoffs from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock due to the Texas heat. As, correct me if I'm wrong, our kickoff started at 7 up until this point, and now it looks like it's going to be 8 the rest of the summer.
Yeah, that's what I would hope for in July and August. It's awful here in San Antonio. You'll bake if the sun is out, and, you know, Coach Covello had mentioned the heat. He was concerned about that and the humidity, but he said, our guys, we don't make excuses. We have to adapt and conquer no matter where we are and what we're doing, and as you can see here, it doesn't seem to be affecting them too much.
And somewhere around the 30th minute, the sun will have officially set. And then the lights will be on here at Toyota Field. And we just got told by the truck no hydration breaks, so we weren't going to pitch the commercial anyway. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it would have given you plenty of commentary to fill the time, but that's interesting, you know. I think in the World Cup, when they have hydration breaks across the board, it's just in fairness to make sure that, you know, nobody's being hurt by it. And when you look at a lot of these close game situations, I think a big part of it is the hydration breaks. Teams are able to stop, reset, figure out what they need to do next, and it's really benefiting the lesser teams, if anything, you know, so to speak, lesser teams. You know, when you look at a power like France against Paraguay, who only made it through on one PK from Mbappe, you know, you got to start questioning what's going on here. And yeah, the game's the talent is spreading across to different countries, no doubt, but I do think hydration breaks play a role. And it's kind of interesting that these guys here aren't going to get one, even though it's usually the rules 80 degrees or hotter.
Well, that's not a decision the broadcasters make, that's for sure.
Yep.
Or at least you and me. Fox might decide to make those decisions when they have the World Cup. And a little too heavy on the touch. A goal kick here for Joey Petruni. So Elijah Paul couldn't quite catch up to a fastball. One of the World Cup changes that I like is that if you waste a little bit too much time on your goal kicks and throw-ins and such, they can be awarded to the other team. So I appreciate that for no real delays, which probably hurts the underdogs, if you will.
Absolutely. Especially the time wasting just eats up the time, obviously. But, you know, looking at this matchup, it seems mostly even. Like, yes, Monterey Bay is struggling to build into the attacking third, but I think they're really giving San Antonio problems just trying to find a way to get their rhythm. They're disrupting the rhythm is what I'm trying to say in short here.
Handball called on Cuello will award the ball to Monterey Bay FC.
As you can see, San Antonio has dropped back a little bit. Not so much of a high press, which I think Monterey Bay was trying to bait them for. It's like they're going to earn that throw in.
It'll be handled by Amari Glasgow. And it'll go back to his back line, Farnsworth. Miscommunication will lead to an interception here by Cuello. Karkalov. Middle of the park, Maldonado. Slow build up to the 18 here. Maldonado will try a strike. It goes wide. And excuse me, Yerofeev tries to strike. It goes wide, but deflection and a corner kick for SAFC.
For a minute there, San Antonio was really getting things going with that quick pace, getting to the other side of the field, and just a little bit of congestion there as Yerofeev's trying to put it across the 5, just no one there to get on the end of it. And again, this is where San Antonio, they're going to have to find a way to take a minute and regroup.
No debate this time. Mikey Maldonado will handle the corner. Maldonado finds Jorge Hernandez at the 18. Guarded by Farnsworth. Gets past him. Into the 18. Kept away from Cuello. Mitch Tainer will recover. Switch of the pitch, Yerofeev. Victor Yerofeev sends it back into the box, headed out. Good collective defensive effort, and then a foul on Mitch Tainer. This might be a booking. It will indeed. No time wasted there by Sergi to pull out his yellow card.
I understand not wanting to let him get back into the other half of the field, but I mean, he was all by himself. I think probably defense could have handled that, but Mitch Tainer not taking any chances here.
Amari Glasgow gets held up here by Mitch Tainer. This is what deserves the booking.
Glasgow, so good getting up box to box, just defender and acting like a winger sometimes too there. It's understandable not wanting to let him get away.
Glasgow. Nanjad. Gordon gets it over to Garcia. Quick touch over to the right side. Push from behind, and Leggett will draw the foul there against Cuello. Sebastian Leggett. Quick restart. Nick Ross. Leggett tackled there by Cuello. Loose ball recovered by Leggett. Nakamura sends it to the back line. Switch of the pitch.
Needs a little bit more movement there from his teammates. Kind of was in no man's land there, surrounded by 4 blue jerseys. That's when you need some guys to check back into the midfield, just create passing lanes. That's a good one.
Leggett looking for a cross right to Petruni, and was able to beat through the ball there as Elijah Paul got big eyes, almost was able to send it in on the next touch.
You can see the wheels turning here from Monterey Bay as they start trying to work into this side of the field a little more. I think could use a little bit more options there in the midfield just to stay connected.
Elijah Paul just hounding pressure there across the 6. Joey Petruni had to get it off here to Alex Cronali, and flag stays down, but the deflection there will not lead to an opportunity. Christian Sorto thought that he could have had a one-on-one against Jacob Jackson before that one bounced to Jackson.
Which is exactly what Monterey Bay wants. They want this San Antonio team stretched out a little more. Something that San Antonio does so good is staying compact, moving as a unit. That's why they're so hard to break down. And, you know, this season they also have the offensive firepower in Dimitri Urife, Christian Sordo, Jorge Hernandez. A lot of shared responsibility out here on this team.
Jorge Hernandez pressuring Jackson now, who whips this off the side of his foot. Leggett will try and get underneath it. Cuello wins the aerial duel, and a throw-in will be awarded to Monterey Bay FC half hour into the match. Monterey Bay FC yet to register an actual shot. SAFC with 4 and 2 on target, and a whistle foul go against SAFC. Cronali draws the yellow card this time, and well, that could technically, depending on what happens with Phoenix, have SAFC in first place.
Yeah, well, what I find interesting here is tactical fouls aren't anything new in the game, and so to be pulling out 2 yellows back to back on that feels a little harsh, but I think he's just trying to allow these guys to play, as San Antonio has done that a couple times, so now he's starting to book players. So I think you can definitely expect to see Monterey Bay get more into the attack here as these yellows start to add up.
Kevin Nanja draws the foul, and then drawing it on this side, Wesley Leggett. Emil Cuello wondering why the whistle stops the play, but he's the one who is the guilty party. Plenty of whistles slowing down the defensive physicality of SAFC. Some of them warranted, some of them 50-50 calls go against them. Jackson, no pressure yet. Now it's coming from Sorto. Dangerous pass almost picked off by Jorge Hernandez, and instead Nick Ross able to get to it for a long sent by Nico Gordon. And no foul called there as Elijah Paul hit the deck.
Lucky, especially ref is handing out yellows left and right there, and being one of the last defenders, got to be careful with that. But you could see both players were pushing against each other, so I can understand why it wasn't a full-on booking there.
Canal with the interception. Sorto trying to beat to the loose ball, and he doesn't, as it was sent into the stands by Nico Gordon. SAFC throw. Mitch Tanner. Emil Cuello trying to get past Garcia, will instead retreat to the back line. Cronali finds Sorto mid-pitch. A little bit of a soft pass for Cuello. On top of it will be Barbier, who saves the day, and then Mitch Tanner chips it to the opposing back line to help reset the formation for SAFC.
Something Coach Cavello said that was really important for him was just to get back to the fundamentals with this team, focus on every practice being better, every game being better in some ways. And when you look at this team, a lot of the fundamentals are there. And I think it's just cleaning it up, getting that rhythm going a little bit more as they move into the rest of this season.
Halfway through the 33rd minute, fundamentals certainly helping Monterey Bay FC in this particular moment, and another foul will go against Kurt Kalov this time, and whistles will allow a couple Monterey Bay players to collect themselves. Let's check out the foul before we resume play.
Looking at this player, I can understand his upset, but I think it's just ref trying to manage things in general here with a really tough body check from Kalov.
Resetting of the spacing here as Jackson will boot to this one across midfield, and Cuello with the aerial duel will have it bounce to the friendly teammate there, Mitrierofe. Joey Petruni has to do something quickly. Joel Garcia will head it in the intended direction, but right to Emil Cuello.
San Antonio FC trying to slow things down a bit. Pretty clear here. Jorge asking for it in the middle, but not quick to move forward.
Maldonado, plenty of time to operate.
Something that San Antonio FC does, they slow it down and then they pick up that pace quickly. It really helps them to work their way through a congested back line.
Carlos Himosa and that Colombian style touch that he brings to the team. Although in this particular case, one of those touches intercepted. Leggett will send it to his back line and allow Nico Gordon to reset. Elijah Paul able to chest it down. Going up against Barbier. Barbier saying that's an SAFC throw, and it will not be awarded such. Barbier with a shrug, but our referee Sergi says that this was last touched by him. No?
Yeah, that's definitely last touch by Monterey Bay. But again, no VAR, so we'll defer to the ref here. It's tough to see from that angle.
A deep throw about parallel with the 18. Low cross handled by Tainter for a corner. Glasgow was looking for somebody to crash, and Tainter wasn't going to allow that to happen.
Good chance here for Monterey Bay. It's definitely in their best interest to try to work to get more set pieces, whether it's here at the corner or the top of the 18. A lot of what you saw from them against El Paso was shots from distance. So, you know, I think if they can get a chance to be in the attacking third, you'll see some of that. But let's see what they do here.
Sebastien Leggett has a short option if he wants to go so. Off of the head of Farnsworth, and then a whistle foul against Monterey Bay FC.
Punch out.
Hey, enter the Brinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kids Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today. Always fun to try and win a kit, and I'm sure there's a few fans that would be interested in said free kit here, as we're scoreless in the 37th minute, and Joey Petruni will boot this one across Emil Cuello's head, and then Nico Gordon sends it to the middle of the pitch, where SAFC's Mitrierofe will have it taken away by Nakamura, and the counter is on here for Monterey Bay FC. That just sends it wide. Glasgow looking to create across the 18. Cross isn't there as Akeem O'Connor Ward makes that a tough pass and then sent over by Kalov for a corner.
Things starting to heat up here for Monterey Bay. I think they're picking up on how to earn those corner kick opportunities. Yeah, really good chance here trying to move forward, just better defense. I mean, really, San Antonio does have to get better with their clearances. That's twice now that they've kind of haphazardly cleared it towards their goal and their inline. Typically, they're a little bit more, I would say, composed in the box. We'll see here.
Leggett will try again. This one high off the head of Barbier and still up for grabs. Nico Gordon couldn't quite put that in the direction he wanted to, and I don't know if that'll go down as a shot, as it will go down as a goal kick, and there was a collision right there as Akeem O'Connor Ward needs to collect himself.
Not good to see your teammate having to hold you up there. We'll see what happened in this collision. Two guys going up for the ball. Looks like might have been an elbow, an incidental elbow there to the face. Possibly in the eye, hard to say.
Akeem seems to be okay as he volunteered to help out Petruni, and Joey Petruni tells his back line to push up. And he'll send it across the middle of the park. Leggett will come up with the first touch, and then he'll keep it from going into touch. Elijah Paul leaves it there for Leggett, and throw-in awarded to SAFC thanks to Caleb's pressure. Kirk Caleb getting his 6th start of the season. Certainly been an energy player so far for SAFC, making his presence known. Long send by Maldonado will be intercepted by Gordon and then sent into touch once more. Emil Cuello throws into some space here for Caleb. Akeem O'Connor Ward. Mitri Yerofei. Kirk Caleb shifts gears. Sent towards the corner, a quick touch on the cross, and it'll be intercepted. Cuello knocks the ball loose for Maldonado to collect. Jorge Hernandez. Back to Maldonado, the chip. And headed out by Farnsworth.
Loving the vision there from Mikey Maldonado, just to know that he has Christian Sordo backside. We've got the San Antonio FC team like a swarm here against Monterey Bay. You can tell they're just really struggling to build out under this pressure.
Well, we saw the shots earlier, and SAFC had 4. It sort of feels like SAFC has probably gotten it maybe about 12 opportunities, and then just that last couple touches to get something that would be semblance of a goal hasn't quite been put together. Elijah Paul trying to break the scoreless tie before halftime.
Some fancy footwork there as he works to draw on those defenders. That's great work.
Nakamura sends it to the back line.
Elijah Paul, the player that Coach Cavello mentioned is the glue of this team. He's always going to fight, leads by example.
Glasgow outside the box, sends it wide. Petruni was ready to be on call if needed.
It's exactly what I'm talking about with shots from distance here. Monterey Bay, I think they've realized, get into the vicinity and have a go at it, because they can put it on frame from distance, and it's just tough picking apart this SAFC back line. So I don't think they're wrong there to try to take that one. Just didn't have the pace on it that it needed.
Petruni, using the wind to his back, will send it across middle of the field, and a nice head in the right direction there for Cuello before Gordon sends it the opposite direction. Barbier wins the aerial duel. Crognale heads it right back here to Barbier. He's able to get to the ball first and send it to Cuello. And then Barbier keeps it in play, but it goes to the back line. Nakamura. Further back, Farnsworth. All the way back here, Jacob Jackson. Garcia. Onside, Elijah Paul. Knocked away by Alex Crognale.
Alex Crognale is having one heck of a year this season. 4 goals under his name, and has just had some outstanding defensive plays as well. And it seems like San Antonio FC would not be who they are without him.
Crognale's clearance goes off of Wesley Leggett. A goal kick here for Petruni. Halfway through the 42nd minute. Petruni able to get it to the head of Cuello. Couldn't quite get Storto.
Good effort on the flick, just better read there by Ryan Nakamura.
Mitri Yerofei almost with a dangerous opportunity.
Excuse me, Ryugo Nakamura.
Akeem O'Connor Ward able to find Mitri Yerofei. Yerofei sends back to the 18. O'Connor Ward outside, just outside the top of the crossbar.
I think San Antonio trying to do some of the same thing, taking shots from distance rather than looking for the perfect opportunity between the defenders. A lot of daylight there for Akeem O'Connor Ward. You can see it buckled a bit. Probably was hoping that would curve down. It didn't.
You like the effort. Good things happen when you shoot sometimes.
Yeah, well, you know, when they've got the momentum and they're peppering the goal over and over, it feels like it's only a matter of time for the right ball to fall into the right place.
Akeem O'Connor-Ward with a goal and an assist on the USL Championship season. Cronulla wins the aerial duel. Nice flick there by Jorge Hernandez, but Christian Sorto couldn't quite catch up to it as Jacob Jackson plays it off the bounce. Fireworks already starting to go off here in San Antonio, just outside of the stadium. Leggett had Barbier disrupt the play. Legett's able to get back into it. Elijah Paul leaves it wide. Nanja able to play it to the 18, turns and shoots, goes off of Akeem O'Connor-Ward.
Too bad he had Garcia Jr. coming up there. Maybe if you'd put it across to the top 18, could have run onto that, but tough to pick your head up in that situation. See the full field. A lot easier here at Bird's View.
Yeah, we're not nearly as critical as the British broadcasters, I've noticed.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them would say poor effort there, but no, I appreciate all of their efforts, and it looks like Sergi wants to talk to a couple members of San Antonio FC. I think Sergi has said he doesn't like some of the communication some of the players have been giving him. This time Wesley Leggett also hearing it, along with Emil Cuello. Only been able to pick up some of what he's been saying from some loose crowd mics, but disrupts the play right there. Monterey Bay FC will have it.
Can only imagine the words exchanged out there on that field. Probably best we don't know.
I've been very much in favor of miking up every single player and the referee.
That would make for an interesting, entertaining experience. But
and coach.
You know, I will say I like the rule where it's a red if a player covers their mouth. That makes a huge difference. And
dangerous play by Tainter, by the way. But yes, of the many red card World Cup changes, that's one of them. Joey Petruni will send it out. I'm sure you've heard the EDM drop of someone being awarded a red card for covering his mouth.
Yes.
We've gotten a lot of good social media content out of this World Cup.
Oh, yeah. I think all of the United States is now hooked on soccer, and it's gonna be a tough withdrawal once we get past that final.
Only a minute of stoppage time, and it'll be a dangerous free kick here in stoppage time for SAFC. Fans didn't like it, but this will be a free kick for SAFC.
Yeah.
Oh, just a drop ball, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, well, Jorge Hernandez is mad because the ref was there to deny that pass. He has struggled a little bit to stay out of the play. We've seen it before, but again, sometimes hard to tell where San Antonio FC is going to go with it. And it is his job to be in the middle of the field. But yeah, as a player, I do remember those frustrations.
Carlos Hermosa more frustrated than most over that. I did not catch that bounced off of him, and it was certainly Sergi who, as you mentioned, has been in the middle of a couple plays, and the ball was chaos, and it decided to go there off of him, and this should be the end of the first half once Jacob Jackson sends this one away. Quick glance of the watch, and Alex Cronulla will send it up in the air. Tainter sends it towards midfield, and there's the whistle to signal halftime. No score between Monterey Bay FC and San Antonio FC. They've played a full-time game and now a halftime game without scoring against each other. Let's see if we can get a score in the second half here on ESPN+.
In the middle of the 2026 World Cup,
when you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future truck drivers through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone.
With the 2026 Toyota Tacoma, you can do whatever you want.
Whatever we want?
Yep, whatever you want.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want. Whatever we want. Whatever we want!
The 2026 2026 Toyota Tacoma. For every kind of adventure. Toyota, let's go places.
As America gears up for the biggest celebration in our history, Texas is putting our own spin on it. Like our fireworks aren't just in the sky. We don't beat the heat, we embrace it. Marching to the band looks a little different. And we Texans even have our very own place to engage in the pursuit of happiness. At America's 250th, no store does more to help the Lone Star celebrate, along with the other 49, than H-E-B.
When you donate or shop at Goodwill, you'll help train future nurses' aides through our local career training programs. Good job, everyone!
In the middle of the 2026 World Cup, Carlos Lamosa is focused on something else. The head coach of San Antonio FC is navigating his club through the midway point of the USL Championship season. But nearly a quarter century ago, the World Cup was Lamosa's dream come true.
Well, that was a unique experience for many reasons. First, that was the first World Cup of the century. That was the first time the World Cup happens in 2 different countries. And that was the first time that happens in Asia.
The 2002 World Cup is to date the best performance by the U.S. men's national team. A stunning victory over Portugal in the group stage. A shutout of arch-rival Mexico in the round of 16. With South Korea's 13-hour time difference to U.S. Eastern Time, Americans had to be creative for live overnight matches. Bars were open at 4 in the morning making breakfast for your matches. Were you aware of all of that at the time?
We found out being there in Korea. They show us videos of footage from TV networks, having a watching party at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Also for me, I have Colombian news going to my parents' house in Colombia in the middle of the night to do interviews when we were playing live.
In 2026, the World Cup includes more than 40 players whose careers were touched by different levels of USL. Lamosa now has a seat to watching players chase their own World Cup dreams.
Here from our academy from San Antonio, we have a player representing the U.S. on the U17 qualifier. That's a very important league in the U.S. soccer developmental program.
Pero falta gol, estamos a esperar a un gol. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Vas al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. Time to get you caught up on the headlines this week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Orange County did it again last Wednesday, a 4-2 victory at Miami FC. That was Orange County's 8th consecutive match away from its home stadium after welcoming the U.S. national team for its World Cup base camp. Orange County has now gone 5 league matches in a row without a loss and owns the top spot in the Western Conference. Charleston Battery lit up the scoreboard again last week, a 4-1 win over Loudoun United. That's 14 goals in their last 3 league matches, with Malik Foster scoring in 4 straight games. All right, some expansion news from Oklahoma City. A groundbreaking kicked off a new stadium this month, and 3 more professional athletes have joined the club's investment group. The NBA's Jalen Williams, NFL quarterback Baker Mayfield, and Olympic gold medalist Sydney McLaughlin-Lerone are now part of the group with an eye on kickoff in 2028. Upcoming national spotlight games in League One and the Championship. The USL Cup finale between San Antonio and Chattanooga on ESPN2. Then a pair of matches on CBS Sports Network. Sporting Jacks and Pittsburgh on the 15th, followed by AC Boise and Portland on the 17th. And then, of course, the big one on CBS Saturday the 18th. Pittsburgh hosting Louisville City. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Oh, yeah. People in this industry know all about the f***ers at Davis Law Firm. If we get a case with their name on it, then we know for darn sure we are likely not settling cheap.
Yeah, I'm adjusting to retired life fine. I don't have to go up against the f***ers at Davis Law Firm anymore. Believe me, we tried, but it was hard to lowball those.
Dealing with insurance companies after a wreck can be a real challenge. If you're hurt, remember the 4-letter word that can help. Want more? Call the Force.
Good morning, San Antonio.
Hey, there he is.
The Spurs pulled off an exciting win last night.
Good morning.
Where's my high five at?
You good?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay.
At Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel, Texas's premier entertainment destination, we love winners. With millions of dollars in jackpots paid, vehicles, cash, and gift giveaways monthly, the excitement never ends. Visit Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas, and find current promotions at LuckyEagleTexas.com or on social at Lucky Eagle Texas.
A San Antonio shop owner was getting calls from hackers trying to drain her bank account. But Frost was on it. When they couldn't reach her, they drove over to what? To stop the call? What the fraud?
The scammers tried to clean her out.
So Frost handled the scandal.
Yep, and now business is blooming.
Got him.
Got him good.
We're scoreless in San Antonio as San Antonio FC hosts Monterey Bay FC at the half. 0-0. These two teams have played 135 minutes this season. Neither one has scored a goal. Hello, everyone. Along with Katie Goodman, I'm Carl Schoening. Happy you guys spend your 4th of July with us, or maybe you're watching in the future. And, well, you watched 45 minutes of guys doing cardio, but high-intensity and defensive-minded cardio, as we can check out the stats brought to you by HEB to start off here as the first we'll go to the highlights, actually brought to you by HEB, as certainly a lot of competition and competitiveness between these two teams as they felt each other out for the first 45 minutes, Katie.
Yeah, I mean, you've got two teams who are doing a pretty good job of keeping things squared away here. San Antonio FC with a little bit more of possession, and it was chippy to start things off, which has made it really difficult for Monterey Bay just to get some flow going. San Antonio, some close calls. with the second and third ball, but just unable to get that last pass going. So it's very clear that Monterey Bay is doing a really good job just to disrupt play there for San Antonio FC.
Halftime stats brought to you by HEB, and San Antonio FC is certainly winning in the accumulation of stats, out shooting Monterey Bay 6-1. Anything else standing out there?
Yeah, Duels won 57.5% there to Monterey Bay's 42.5%, and you can see that in the second and the third ball. That's a place where they've struggled throughout the season, and most likely it's affecting their build out of the back. You know, I think that's one of those fundamentals to work on moving forward. And of course, San Antonio, they have not allowed Monterey Bay to get any kind of momentum going forward. We saw foul after foul, a couple yellow cards as they tried to move into the attack, hence those 6 shots there on goal for San Antonio.
Well, Monterey Bay FC is not only looking for their first road win of the season, they are looking for their first win as a franchise or club against San Antonio FC. Both of these teams looking for a goal. When we come back, we start the second half here from Toyota Field on ESPN+.
What do you do when you throw out your back?
Use caution when lifting heavy objects.
How do I eliminate back pain?
I'm not tracking any rain right now.
Back pain?
Got it. Calling back Shane.
Forget it.
Sorry, didn't get that. High-quality emergency care. Find your nearest location.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hot crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's hut crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
Ready?
Did they just get there?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Guys,
Look at the size of that screen.
this comes standard.
Plenty of room for my 3 future grandkids.
Mother! Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Some things steal the spotlight. The 2026 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
San Antonio FC Soccer is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Methodist Healthcare, proudly offering 10 neighborhood ERs across San Antonio. Second half moments away from getting rolling here in San Antonio at Toyota Field. No score between San Antonio FC and Monterey Bay FC, as these two teams also were scoreless in a draw earlier in the season on April 4th. USL on CBS. Tune in to CBS on Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference Showdown. Last season's champions Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC goes head-to-head with the 2025 Players' Shield winner Louisville City FC in a must-watch match of the summer. 2 elite clubs, 1 massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon Eastern on July 18th. Fans certainly in the July 4th mood here as the 250th birthday of the United States as declared by the revolutionaries happens on July 4th, 1776, 250 years ago, and quite a different world, as I don't know if soccer was a sport yet. Maybe, I mean, just for fun, just for recreation. No organized soccer really, was there? Oldest club in the world is like in the 1800s, right?
Yeah, I think that soccer was also a version of soccer was there with the Aztecs as well. They had their goals and circles up on the wall. You're quizzing me with history here, Carl. I was not expecting that. But, you know, I mean, some version of soccer has been around for a very long time, but don't ask me when the first actual organized version of soccer began. Speaking of organized football, let's check out the standings here as San Antonio FC is in second place of the Western Conference, trailing Orange County SC by 2 points. And Monterey Bay
FC, 12 of their 14 points have come in the last 5 matches where they've won 4 out of 5 here in USL Championship play, but they looked dead in the water, only 2 points in their first 9 matches, and got to give a lot of credit to Alex Covello for turning this team around. And hey, if they win tonight, somehow get the 3 points, they could be looking at the playoff line, which seemed unfathomable back in April.
Yeah, it ain't over till it's over. They still have 3 months of soccer left to go. It might end up being a mathematical situation to get up over that playoff line, but I think it's about building in the right direction is going to be the most important thing for these guys. And when it comes to this second half, I think they have struggled to build out. They've struggled to connect into the attacking third. A lot of times it's 1 or 2 guys dribbling into the attack. You don't have enough help, and that's because San Antonio's done just a great job pinning them back with all of that intensity and that high press. And so I think when it comes to Monterey Bay, they're just going to have to find a way to persevere through that, to find maybe some composed, quick 1 or 2 passes in the build out and give time for their whole crew to really get into the attacking third and start pinging passes around there and possessing on the opposite side of the field.
You see Carlos Imoso looking on in his second season with San Antonio FC, has his squad undefeated at home, 4-0-2, as San Antonio FC plays their first match in July and their first match here at Toyota Field since May 23rd. You might hear fireworks periodically popping off in the background, as July 4th and fireworks are synonymous here in the city of San Antonio. As soon as the sun goes down, fireworks go up.
Fireworks, barbecue, and soccer. Can't ask for much more, you know. And then going back to Carlos Imoso, I don't know if you were away during the halftime break. There was a really cool segment done on him. He was a part of the 2002 U.S. Men's National Team squad. He made it to the quarterfinals. That's the furthest that the U.S. Men's National Team has ever made it. And so just really cool to have somebody of that caliber here in San Antonio leading this team. And then when you look at what's building here from the academy side, you've got Landry Walker, part of the U17 U.S. Men's National Team now. You see Landry every now and then make an appearance with the SAFC, whether it's on the bench or on the field, and so just sky's the limit there. And then you look at San Antonio FC as a whole and the way that they've been able to build a quality reputation time after time. They've had guys like Taniela Washei and Dane St. Clair from Canada who unfortunately were lost 3-0 to Morocco today, but, you know, just a lot of international experience. But looking back at this play, a really quality defensive tackle there from Kurt Koloff.
Glasgow was denied his chance to get the cross off, and now a corner kick will ensue. Sebastian Leggett keeps it low. Goes off of Elijah Paul's foot and then off of Koloff's foot, or excuse me, Emil Cuello's foot, and then we'll have another corner.
See, they're working there for the dummy. Expect a couple front side and back side runs here.
Leggett will send it a bit higher this time. Cuello will be the first one to get to it as he heads it out of the box. Nakamura will head it to Garcia, who heads it forward. Leggett marked by Cuello. Tries to get past Cuello. Can't get to the ball before Mitch Tainer sends it across the end line, and yet another corner kick, the third here in the second half for Leggett and Monterey Bay FC.
San Antonio FC has got to work to limit these corner kick opportunities here from Monterey Bay. It'll only be a matter of time if they continue to allow these to happen. Of course, the ref again having a word.
Sergi clears it up and now gives the okay to Leggett. Leggett sends that one towards the middle of the 6, where it's headed out by Barbier, and ball will be played to out here to Glasgow after the collision. He sends it right back in, recycling the service. It'll bounce around a couple of heads, and the third try will go right into the hands of Joey Petruni.
Much better job there for Monterey Bay, winning that second ball. Dimitri Eurofeev on a break, unable to do so.
And then Eurofeev called for the foul there against Nakamura. A trio of headers, none able to go into the back of the net here.
San Antonio not as dominant out of the air as they have been. Really good effort from Monterey Bay, Joey Petruni there, but all of that started because of a solid hustle from Glasgow just to get on the end of it. That second ball.
Kim O'Connor-Ward will keep that one away from Glasgow, and a throw in here for Monterey Bay FC as San Antonio FC is able to jog back and set their defense. Nadja. Farnsworth. Give Nadja another chance. He'll chip it to the 18. Leggett had to try and find it again. Tainter cuts off his angle, but it's still able to pass it off to the 6. Triple team shuts down Elijah Paul's opportunity to get a clean touch.
What an effort there by Leggett, just getting to the end of it despite gravity, able to get the pass off, and now things really escalating here. Sordo slow to get up.
Nico Gordon draws the yellow card, the first booking for Monterey Bay FC after 2 yellow cards issued to San Antonio FC in the first half.
Tackle from behind is definitely going to earn you a yellow in the book there. San Antonio now able to restart. But yeah, better look of it here. Just not a much ball in that tackle and a lot of ankles instead.
Petruni's pass is an errant one, and Mitch Tainter has to come and save the day from Elijah Paul, who is ready to make a threat at the 18.
Pressure starting to build here for Monterey Bay. You can see starting to get a little bit of a rhythm here in the attack. More possession here on this half of the field at the start of this half.
Joel Garcia with a good throw into the box for Elijah Paul, who knocks it out here for Leggett. Wesley Leggett sends it to the 18, Leggett. Leggett marked by Maldonado. Now Maldonado will mark Glasgow, knock the ball loose. Leggett doesn't like his options, will now send it to the back post and over hits his intended target, Glasgow. Goal kick here for Petruni.
Too much pace on that. As you can see, he apologizes with a hand up. I think it can be difficult. There's so much pressure here coming from San Antonio FC that with that final pass, they make it really difficult.
Despite the wind going into the face of Joey Petruni, he continues his strategy of telling his back line to push up and sends it across the middle of the field again.
San Antonio typically really dominant in aerial duels. Not so much there. Great win from Glasgow.
Glasgow works it to the 18 himself, and Jorge Hernandez knocks it away from his feet. Or excuse me, Mikey Maldonado with the defensive effort, and to throw in here for Monterey Bay FC.
Talked to Coach Covello. He'd mentioned Glasgow. He's energetic, loud. You hear him in warm-ups, and really helpful just getting the team going. And you can see here, he's been box to box. How many times have we said his name? And a good effort there from distance for Nakamura. Nakamura from Japan. We'll have a look back at that shot.
I call this a YOLO shot. He had plenty of space. He thought he'd give it a strike. Goes wide.
It looks like it would have been on frame, but looked like there was a deflection there. Ref is not going to call it as a corner, though. This one goes to Joey Petruni to send out, but Coach talked about Nakamura. He'd mentioned he's really professional, gets better every day, always has questions for him, as he's always trying to build, and so love to see him taking those chances.
Glasgow with a 1-2, trying to get it right back to Kevin Najai, and then now a send by Petruni towards midfield, where Nakamura on cue will send it to Mitch Tainter, and then Tainter's pass intercepted by Glasgow. Leggett decides to go back to Nick Ross. Ross finds all the way to Nico Gordon, who allows it to play a little bit. Outside of the box, Jacob Jackson. Farnsworth to mid-pitch, fighting it off on a battle against Cronali there. Najai will have the ball collected here as he gets to play to the advantage, although down is Mikey Maldonado. Or excuse me, that's Kirk Calloway for SAFC. He's able to get back into the play here as a strike from Glasgow goes over the crossbar and into the stands. They tell those fans behind the goal to be ready.
Yeah, hopefully they sign a medical waiver before they come in here, because I mean, that's a dangerous spot to be, but I think this is the best look of the game. Honestly, yeah, it went over the post, but he did a great job with that horizontal run, able to get there and find space. And as you can see, they're starting to take those shots from distance. San Antonio, yeah, they've put some shots up, but they're just not their usual quality here tonight.
Jorge Hernandez trying to change that. And offside flag as Sorto was past the last defender, and now we'll have a hold up as at least a cramp at minimum is happening for Nakamura.
It's definitely hot and humid out there. Cramps not uncommon.
Overnight low is 76. Don't have access to a thermometer here at Toyota Field, but I imagine it's still in the 80s and 87 overall in San Antonio at the airport. This is where the flag was put up.
Yeah, really close call. I mean, you can see Kalev trying to make sure, Christian Sordo, that he is onside. His head was on a swivel, but it was, Jorge, maybe if he had released that ball a little bit sooner, it might have worked. Such a tricky balance.
Cronalia able to get it to Kalev. Jorge Hernandez, plenty of space. Hernandez chips to the back post, just over the head of Cuello, who is crashing towards the goal line.
What a great spot to put that ball, though. I think, a lot of guys, when they go in for the cross, they want to look to see who's already set there, but he was able to clock in on that run, and it's a nice backspin, so it's easy to come on to. Just misjudged where that ball was going to land.
Kalev is off, and Lucio Peron will come in for him. Christian Perano will also enter the match for SAFC for Mitri Yerofev. Couple of substitutions, seeing if Carlos Simosa can make the difference with these fresh legs here in the 56th minute. It's been the MO of Monterey Bay to build out of the back, as Nakamura still seems a little slow and will get over here to the end line. And our referee Sergi is wondering what's going on with some of the communication here on the pitch, as he's pointing out to the trainer for Monterey Bay FC. She will stay on the sideline and go to Nakamura out of play. And I think we'll be ready to resume here in a minute, but Nakamura has pulled himself out of the match for the moment.
Yeah, clearly struggling with something there. Needs a little bit of assistance from the trainer. Not hurting too bad, is able to jog, but got something going on. Now he's calling for the substitution. Best to do that when you can't give your full 100%.
And then the ensuing goal kick will be a throw before anybody else can touch it. That's AFC. Perano gets his first touch. Akeem O'Connor ward wide.
Christian Perano so good on the dribble, has battled injury, but back now. You can see that change of pace coming directly from him.
Jorge Hernandez.
So doing well to create passing lanes and options.
Hernandez back to Perano. Perano trying to shift gears, got it on the back flip from Jorge Hernandez, and then knocked away by Nico Gordon. Counters on, and then a whistle and a tactical card. Another yellow shown to SAFC. Mikey Maldonado, I believe, will be the one given this time.
I believe it's Christian Sordo, because he was trying to clip the heels for a tactical foul and missed, I think. So we'll have a look back at it.
Lucio Peron cuts off there, and I think Peron is the one who will be booked. Well, maybe you're shaking your head. I'll allow you to tell. I didn't quite see Sorto get whistled.
I think Lucio Peron did a really good job there of standing him up defensively, got in the way, slowed down the pace. I think that's a fair defensive effort, but I really believe that call is coming for Christian Sordo, because he was going at his heels when he was in a full sprint, just missed him, so didn't have the chance to commit the foul but tried, and I think it's kind of a dissent situation there from the ref.
Third yellow issued to San Antonio FC, only one to Monterey Bay. Depending on what happens in the Phoenix Rising match, SAFC could shift ahead for most disciplined yellow card team in USL Championship after tonight. Wouldn't surprise us.
Not one bit.
It's almost been San Antonio FC's motto for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, they're typically leading the league in yellows, but they've kind of toned things down a little bit here.
Pirano into the box, just overpasses Jorge Hernandez, who could have had a golden opportunity for a goal.
Beautiful work there from San Antonio. I think that's probably the best opportunity that they've had. Yeah, they've had shots on goal, but this would have been killer had Jorge Hernandez gotten on the end of it, just slightly mistimed. But a better effort than I think what we've seen so far. San Antonio just working to connect the dots in that final third, that last pass. You can feel the frustration coming from them, but I think Pirano off the bench has been a really great spark.
Hakeem O'Connor-Ward, patient with the pass on the throw-in. Mikey Maldonado gives it right back to O'Connor-Ward. Pirano has to fight through physicality, and last touch there by Farnsworth. Maldonado another throw. Sergi tells him he was walking up a little too far. Now O'Connor-Ward will handle. Maldonado. Mitch Tanner. Barbier. Plays it to the back line, and it's up for grabs. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward sends it off the post, and it stays in play.
Oh, man, it is just not San Antonio's night. Off the woodwork, saved by the post is Monterey Bay, and you could see it in his body language. Was expecting that ball to fully go out, but, man, what a solid effort. He's able to keep his chest down, keep his body down. He's aware of that open side corner there, just not able to get past the post.
And Jackson sends this one way away from him with his sigh of relief. And a collision outside of the box, and Joey Petruni will hit the deck as Elijah Paul, full head of steam, ran into him. No winners in this collision.
No winners. I mean, he is out. He went in head first to try to head the ball out of the way. This is awful to see from both sides.
Yeah, Elijah Paul wanted to try and break the scoreless tie. Joey Petruni comes off his line to meet him at the ball, and I think they had a head-to-head collision without knowing each other when they're in their space.
Prepare yourselves, brace yourselves to look at this replay. Maybe a tough one as Joey Petruni's going in head first on this challenge, trying to meet him out. He can't go with his hands. He's out of the box. He goes with his head, and it's a shoulder to the jaw there. And I think it's also just the spin as he's going down. Definitely seeing stars in that situation. Also looking like Monterey Bay, they're getting a knock behind the head. That's Elijah Paul. Either way, not good for either guy.
Well, some movement there from Joey Petruni, who honestly needed a moment to collect himself. So that's good to see him kind of throw his hands up and being helped up to his feet here. Elijah Paul also seeming to be able to be helped up, and I don't know who the foul was called against here, but man, it doesn't seem like that's fair for either team to get whistled for a foul on that one.
Yeah, I think they typically favor the keeper here, and when he went in for the header, it was going for the ball, but it looks like that's going to be a red from Sergi.
And it looks like he showed it to Joey Petruni, who, as he's able to collect himself, I don't know if I've ever seen a keeper get a red.
I've seen it before, but that's a strong card for that situation. It's most likely because of the risk of injury that Joey put Elijah Paul into with that effort and collision. And this is a huge knock for San Antonio FC because, again, mid-season goalkeeper of the year has really kept them in it quite a few times. You see Richard Sanchez gloving up, getting ready. Always tough for goalkeepers to just come in cold off the bench and perform, but all of San Antonio livid at Sergi's call here.
Richard Sanchez was ready to come into the match either way, as it looked like Joey Petruni probably shouldn't have continued, as he might get a concussion check on top of it.
One more look at this play just to see the validity of the red card, and it looks like while his intent was to go for the ball, not much ball was connected with, and so when you think of it that way, you can see why the ref would pull a red in that situation.
So Christian Sorto will be the one who comes out of the match, as Joey Petruni will be subbed in here for Richard Sanchez. Sanchez has played in 2 USL Championship matches, both of them starts this season for SAFC. 180 minutes. He's allowed 4 goals on 8 shots faced with 4 saves and 1 clean sheet on the season.
And this is the best
dangerous free kick.
Yeah, this is the best opportunity that Monterey Bay has had, and you can see San Antonio FC arguing with the ref as to how far back they should be.
It was a stride away from being a penalty kick.
Yeah, they're lucky. Imagine Richard Sanchez having to defend a PK, hold off the bench. That's a tough one, and it's still going to be a tall order for him here.
Bajette and Nanja will be the 2 on the ball for Monterey Bay. 4-man wall. Richard Sanchez, fresh off the bench, facing the best set piece of the night. Nanja skies it over the crossbar, and a big cheer comes from San Antonio FC, surviving that moment.
Lucky situation for San Antonio, except we do have somebody down here in the back.
Mitch Tainer is grabbing his foot.
Solid effort there from Nanja to put it in the mix. You can tell he was hoping it would bent down after the fact.
Well, our referee Sergi, and reminder, he doesn't want us to pronounce his last name, or at least try. Certainly hearing it from the San Antonio crowd, Richard Sanchez's first touch is booted across midfield. So a man down is San Antonio FC. No score in this match, and I think SAFC would be happy to win the point now.
You know, being a man down isn't always the worst thing. You know, we've seen it happen before where the team down a man is able to push past that barrier. A big part of it is because the opposing team, who's a man up, they get excited, a lot of numbers up, and they get caught in the transition. So still not an impossible situation, especially when you've got guys with a lot of speed like Verano there up top.
Carlos Hermosa certainly considering his next move, as he'll probably have to use his substitutes wisely. Here's a send, looking for Glasgow, able to chest it down, and then Akeem O'Connor-Ward plays that one before it bounces and then clears it for a throw.
Solid stop there from Covello with the back heel. I don't know if you saw some of that fancy footwork there from him on the side, but great defensive effort from Akeem O'Connor-Ward. It's been such a great addition to San Antonio FC this season.
Nick Ross leaves it backwards. Leggett.
We saw U.S. men's national team go down a man, and they were unfazed, I think. I can imagine all of these guys out here on this field are keeping tabs on what's happening in the World Cup, and hopefully San Antonio FC keeps that in mind, being in this situation. Still continue to play their ball, not back down. See, pretty compact, just trying to regain possession.
Nico Gordon very heavy on that pass, looking for Wesley Leggett. And a goal kick here for Richard Sanchez. What a story this would be for Richard Sanchez, having to come in due to what was probably going to be an injury at first anyway, but then a red card issued to the starting keeper for SAFC. His first game off of the bench this season, and now has to deal with a man down on top of it. And I'm sure not in his thought process, but Monterey Bay FC has never beaten SAFC in their club's existence.
Young existence, only 5 seasons in, but some great movement here from San Antonio FC.
Hakeem O'Connor-Ward gives it up here. Barone tried to play that one a little awkwardly, and an easy play for Jackson. Theo
Barone, one of the strongest defensive midfielders, I think, in the USL Championship. Has a ton of grit. Will get up in the attack, as you saw there, but tons of hustle back. Really physical guy. Just limiting those cards for him.
Glasgow trying to beat Hakeem O'Connor-Ward into some space. Glasgow looking for a cross. Nanja trying to get past Pirano. Back heels it back. Glasgow. Bounced out of the box by Leggett. Nanja goes across the end line. Last touch by Cronali. Whoa, no, I beg your pardon. Last touch by Nanja, and a goal kick for Richard Sanchez. Mark that up as a win on the threat for SAFC.
Either way, much better combinations here for Monterey Bay. I think I would have liked to see them put that in the mix instead of getting caught in the corner here. Pirano doing well just to watch the ball, and yeah, that last touch is going off Nanja there.
Remember, we were talking about time wasting here for the goalkeepers on the goal kicks. Richard Sanchez not wasting time, but as we get closer to that full-time whistle, assuming that it's still a scoreless draw, I imagine Richard Sanchez will be taking a little bit longer on those goal kicks. Throw in for SAFC.
Good opportunity here for SAFC to work to possess.
Cuello. A foul will be called here as Garcia shoves down Jorge Hernandez, or Mikey Maldonado, beg your pardon. And well, it's errors like this that could help SAFC. It is Jorge Hernandez who's shoved to the ground.
Yeah, hand over the shoulder. Definitely a foul there. Not a ton of ball involved with that tackle, so good call there from Sergi. Now San Antonio's gonna have to convert on this. They're down a man. Set pieces are everything.
Is Richard Sanchez gonna come out of frame and across midfield? No, he just takes a long stride to center circle.
We saw a similar set piece from Malik Tillman against Bosnia-Herzegovina when they were down a man. It was able to get them over that hump to win the match. Let's see if he can do the same. Jorge Hernandez, the guy to know.
Katie Goodman, my favorite soccer addict, will remember all of the goals scored in the World Cup if I tested her, I imagine.
Well, especially if it's the U.S. men's national team. Or Cabo Verde.
Jorge Hernandez. Punched out by Jackson. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward looking to play it before another Monterey Bay FC player can get a touch.
Quality punch out there from Jacob Jackson. He's done a great job just protecting the net there.
Slow roller in. Farnsworth will clear it out. Jorge Hernandez with another chance to create. Emil Cuello. Cuello with the cross. Across the face of goal. And that'll be a throw in for Monterey Bay FC.
Speed from Pirano, unable to get on the end of it, but this is where San Antonio FC has to be better. You're down a man. Really want those services on point. Limit running, let the ball do the work.
Nanja. Belmar Joseph in the match. Glasgow left side. Slow roll here. Nanja in the area, offside as the flag comes up before he can make a move.
You could tell even in the body language of SAFC's back line. They're pretty confident that one was off as he's taking a stretch there down in the 5. But looking here, it's a close call. He's trying to stay on. But Mitch Tainter does a really good job of just holding that line, puts him a half step off once the ball was played. Good eye there from the sideline ref.
Adding to our stoppage time, which I'm sure will be fairly long here once we've hit our 90th minute. Nanje will be down and have the trainer come out to check him inside the 6.
Good opportunity for everyone to get water. Try to use the time to recalibrate game plan. Interesting that both of these sides have gone so long against each other scoreless.
Well, our next home match, while we have a moment to tell you about it out here at Toyota Field, will be against the Chattanooga Red Wolves in a USL Cup match. So hopefully you guys come out here, and before that match, there's a little yoga on the pitch, which is part of a package where you can do yoga and have a fun time. You and I, yoga instructors, and always fun to spread yoga, as that'll be a good time. And then next thing you know, we'll be back here in our broadcast booth on ESPN Plus. You and I will have the call of the July 18th game against the Las Vegas Lights as we shift back to USL Championship play. Nanja will exit the match, and I don't see any immediate substitution ready to line up for him, and an SAFC free kick will ensue.
Love that static image there, El Necio. 2-0 El Necio, that's nice. Gotta love the fan artwork out here.
Alex Kernali, as SAFC has a chance to play even for a moment with Nanja being out with an injury and SAFC being a man down. Christian Pirano gives it right back and touches it here. Jorge Hernandez outside the box, tries to strike wide right.
Effort is good there from San Antonio. Loving to see this really quick, short combination play. Not afraid to still play their game despite down a man. Jorge Hernandez just trying to take it while he's got a look, but a little bit of traffic there. Might have had an opportunity to pass it along the other side of the field, but at the same time, they got to take their shot when they have it.
And anytime Jorge Hernandez puts up a shot, pretty sure I'd be confident in it. Halfway through the 76th minute, 250 years after 1776.
It's one way to say it.
Yeah. Well, it just looked up, and it was the 76th minute as it wraps up here. We start the 77th. SAFC a man down, and it looks like there will be a substitution as Eduardo Blancas looks ready to check in. Nanja will probably have his evening come to a close after that injury inside the 6 when he was called offside. Belmar Joseph Jr. sends to Farnsworth in the back line.
San Antonio wise to sit back here, force Monterey Bay to play at them.
They have to wait for Wesley Leggett to get back on side before they can do anything serious here. SAFC really able to push that back line up here as Monterey Bay FC waits for another substitution to get ready. John Quinton Elliott looking like he's going to make his USL Championship debut. Amari Glasgow plays back to the defensive half of the pitch. Joseph's long send headed high. A play here for Elijah Paul. Paul gets a cross off, nobody there to receive. Bounces out to Maldonado. No counter able to be sparked, but Cuello's able to play it at the 18 before. Poacher's goal could be possibly in effect. And Barone sends that one way away from Richard Sanchez. We've seen SAFC make a couple substitutions, and now Monterey Bay, along with Belmar Joseph Jr., who was just handling there in center circle, about to get their second and third subs in. Counter opportunity, Cuello. Cuello had his team, he sends it ahead for Pirano. Pirano will slow things down. Cuello able to extend to get it back out to Pirano, who had it misguided and was able to save it from going into touch. And then Pirano has it knocked out there by Glasgow. And whistles will stop here for the substitution window to open up. So now officially Kevin Nanja's evening is done, and also exiting Joel Garcia So congratulations to John Quinton Elliott for making his USL Championship debut, and also entering the match, Eduardo Blanca is getting his 14th match of the season. Almost all of them coming off of the bench. 9 appearances off of the bench now.
Elliott, a recent signing from Columbus Crew, Major League Soccer, to come and help out with things. Spoke to Coach Cavello. He said he thinks he's going to be a great addition, fits in with their style of play. So it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do here. Really aggressive outside back, but can get up.
Barbier will send it out here. Jorge Hernandez. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward. Gets it to Pirano. Pirano with a nice touch to the penalty arc, and then the pass intercepted by Farnsworth, but whistle stop play here, and it looks like it'll be a foul called against Monterey Bay as Christian Pirano's holding his hamstring. Let's see it again.
Like Pirano just trying to make it by, and it looks like a knee right into the thigh. That'll give you dead legs sometimes if it's hit hard enough.
Pirano remains down here as he is in some considerable amount of pain. But a dangerous set piece will be the cost of that to Monterey Bay.
It's definitely going to leave a bruise, no doubt.
And I believe they did book Zach Farnsworth for that defensive effort. As Sergi finishes writing his note, also allowing a little bit of time here for Christian Pirano to recover. Pirano playing in his 12th match of the season.
But also coming back from injury, you know, and it's tough to see a guy who has worked so hard to get back have that situation. Looks like he's holding more of his hamstring on that situation, though. May have toppled him over. Or it could just be the dead leg, hard to say. But that was quite the collision, no doubt.
He'll attempt to walk it off. Hakeem O'Connor-Ward let San Antonio FC's trainer know he's okay. Make sure you get the water bottle off the pitch as well, as an opportunity to get a little bit of hydration before we resume on this free kick. SAFC looking for a shorthanded goal. The line has been drawn 10 yards away here as Sergi will set up the free ball. The free kick will be taken by either Maldonado or Jorge Hernandez.
Both with the quality to put it away from there.
Away from the eyes of Sergi. Looked like Glasgow and Barbier got into a brief shoving match, and it was quickly de-escalated as they take their marks for this free kick. The wave has started here at Toyota Field, and they're hoping they can all be on their feet in a moment. Jorge Hernandez lines it up. Maldonado will take, and it'll bounce off the wall and be a corner. Ooh. Do we have a handball in the box, though? What do we have here? A lot of frustration coming from Monterey Bay FC. A lot of gathering around the penalty mark.
You have a look here. It's a solid drive through. And what they're arguing about is, I think the ref called it as a corner kick, but instead it never deflected off of anyone. I think he thought it deflected. And I think that's really what the argument is about here. Well, I don't know. He's holding up his elbow. And here's the thing is, if you're going to call a handball, it has to be because you're making yourself bigger. I mean, we've seen it a couple times in the World Cup where it hits a guy's hand in the box, but it's not because he's expanding himself. It's a deflection that is out of his control. So it's really hard to see from that replay exactly where that happened.
Jacob Jackson seems to not necessarily be happy about what this potentially could be. Look at the edge of the wall here and see. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, maybe trying to call it off the edge of the wall. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a PK after all.
Jorge Hernandez.
Good catch there from the ref.
Jorge Hernandez will do the honors as he puts the ball on the penalty mark. Hernandez with 5 goals and 5 assists on the season, both teams highs for SAFC. Jackson with his toughest task of the evening. SAFC looking to end the scoreless tie.
5 goals, 5 assists under his belt so far. 42 chances created. Can he add to this?
Jorge Hernandez giving the okay. Still hands on his hips. Slow steps. Off the top of the crossbar. Bounces out. Pirano looking to recycle the service. Back heels it here. Maldonado back post. Cuello couldn't quite get it at the 6. Maldonado heads it towards the 18. Pirano trying to play it off the bounce. And then sending it to touch. Throwing for SAFC.
One thing's for sure, it is not San Antonio's night, rather. Saved by the post. Not once, but twice is Monterey Bay. You can see he's trying to get Jackson to commit by slowing things down before taking the kick. Trying to see if he can be tricky. Instead, put some power behind it. And while it's a good effort, it's just no good there.
Santiago Coutinho will come into the match for SAFC. And also coming in for Monterey Bay FC is Anissa Saidi. So Saidi will sprint on here as a corner kick is awarded to SAFC. A throw in here is awarded to SAFC. And with Barbier exiting, I misread where the positioning of the ball was going to be. Maldonado will throw. Maldonado gets it right back. Jorge Hernandez. Mikey Maldonado, plenty of space, sends to the back post. And caught above the crowd there by Jacob Jackson.
Incredible work from Jacob Jackson. He's had really quality night here tonight. An interesting choice from Coach Yamosa to go with more offensive power, bringing Barbier out of the match and putting Patino in. Not a typical substitution you see from them. I think just in an effort to try to convert here, as Pirano's limping his way through this match. May not see too much more time from him.
Perhaps I'm wrong, and maybe you can affirm this opinion. Even though SAFC has been a man down since the 67th minute, it almost feels like it's been even.
Yeah, it's because they've stayed compact. It's encouraged Monterey Bay to attack a little more. It exposes them in the back, and they've been still able to play their game, which I think says a lot about the quality and maturity of this team. But at some point, they're going to need that ball to stop and go out of play to be able to sub Christian Pirano out here.
I'm expecting a lengthy stoppage time thanks to all of the non-in-play action that has happened in this second half. But we're wrapping up the 87th minute here with Monterey Bay FC pressuring the back line for Glasgow. Glasgow able to shift it ahead. Hakeem O'Connor Ward's going to win that leg race, though.
Incredible slide tackle there. Just clean. It's all ball. He's able to beat him to it, not taking any chances. Quick to clear.
Crognali heads that one away from the 6 and cleared out by Cuello.
It's really like San Antonio's playing with 9 guys because you've got Pirano out here, not able to fully contribute, just trying to take up space. Make up passing lanes difficult, but really good chance here for Monterey Bay. And you've got to hand it to them. I mean, they've kept this San Antonio team scoreless through 87 minutes.
Glasgow cuts back. Belmar Joseph gives up here Nick Ross. Outside, Quinn Elliott. And then the pressure across the inline bounced out of the box.
Definitely see Quinn Elliott's pace, what he provides. This Monterey Bay team really quick up that side. He's calling for it again, and I think if they could switch that to him a little bit quicker, it might work to get in behind SAFC's back line.
Glasgow is onside, but Akeem O'Connor Ward will wrestle the ball away from him.
What a fight.
Patino, middle of the pitch. Almost got it to Jorge Hernandez for a chance for a counter. Farnsworth. Leggett. One touch. Got it right back. Leggett. Looking for Blancas. Blancas cut off. Nick Roscoas. Belmar Joseph Jr. finds Glasgow. He's able to turn the corner, and then a knock along the 18. We have a foul and a yellow card that's going to go against SAFC, and a dangerous set piece coming up for Monterey Bay. Just at the 18.
I believe we have one more substitution left, but it doesn't look like Heiko Chamosa is going to go to the bench to replace Perano. Just really not helping them to get up and out into the attack. Let's look at where this foul is coming from. And yeah, there is a tackle from behind from Akeem O'Connor Ward. Lucky for him, not in the box. On first look, it looked like it was, and it's going to result in a PK, but still definitely stopped what would have most likely been a goal. Get another really good chance here.
Right before we wrap up the 90th minute, and as we head into stoppage time, which will be 9 minutes of added time here to the end of the second half. So as we start stoppage time, Blancas will line up the free kick.
Blancas off the bench. Imagine if he can convert here. What a night that would be for him.
Eduardo Blancas is given the okay. Off the head of Patino, and then collected by Cuello outside the box. Cuello's able to send it into touch. And the time wasting begins these final 9 minutes. SAFC certainly going to do their best to stay compact. Limit opportunities for Monterey Bay. John Quinton Elliott with the throw.
San Antonio FC in this situation, essentially playing with 9 guys, should feel lucky to walk away with a draw in this situation. You can expect a lot of big clearances, as we see here.
Yeah, Maldonado wanted nothing to do with that, being controlled by SAFC. Just sent it all the way back to Jackson.
As he should have. Lots of light blue jerseys there who could pick it up. I think if Perano wasn't injured in this situation, San Antonio would still have a pretty good chance. But as mentioned, it's like they're playing with 9 in this situation.
Belmar Joseph cuts back and finds Glasgow once again. Joseph looking for the service. Bounced around. Cernali sends it high in the air, and Sanchez will pick it up off of the dribble.
Quality come out there for Richard Sanchez. Good sticky gloves as well to hold on to that one. A lot of keepers would have punched that out.
Akeem O'Connor Ward thought about a long send. Instead, he'll make sure Blancas will get on his highlight reel, and then Blancas will send it into touch. SAFC throw. Here's another look at perhaps the best last chance for Monterey Bay FC.
Nice little heel flick there from Leggett, and just not able to finish out that play. It's Elijah Paul.
Maldonado with the throw, looking for Patino, and now a physical fight for the ball, and a foul will go against Saidi. And a yellow card goes against Saidi as well. Saidi picks up his first, 3rd on Monterey Bay FC, and a free kick here for SAFC. Oh, it wasn't against Saidi, it was against somebody in the nearby vicinity. Alex Covello, the head coach of Monterey Bay FC.
Wasn't too happy with that call, I'm assuming, but Saidi has been a later addition here from Monterey Bay. Coach had mentioned only 18, but has really great technique, great finishing. Does not seem like an 18-year-old to me out there.
Crognale and Saidi get into a little of an arm wrestling match, no whistle, and ball eventually bounces out here to Mitch Tainer. Emil Cuello has some space to operate. Jorge Hernandez out on the wing for him. Instead, they go middle of the pitch, and a little miscommunication there with Patino.
Those are the things you can't do, but what a hustle back from Jorge Hernandez.
Jorge Hernandez was hoping for the whistle to go in his favor, and as was Sebastian Leggett. Instead, it'll be a throw-in for SAFC. Leggett still pleading his case.
Not happy with the tackle from behind, but looked pretty clean on first take. Good hustle. He's actually not coming from behind. He's coming from the side, goes for the ball, does clip a few ankles, but hard to say.
Lucio Barron trying to force the issue and knocks it into touch. Should be a Monterey Bay throw.
But it's a throw really high up in that corner area. Good opportunity for San Antonio FC to just keep them there. Try to get a shot from distance.
Now keep in mind, stoppage time starts when play resumes in stoppage time. So based off of that free kick, we could be playing to about the 100th minute. SAFC still with plenty of time to find the go-ahead goal. Playing a man down. Not really playing like it, though.
Gotta hand it to San Antonio FC. Still a ton of tenacity out here, despite all odds. And I'm sure the frustrations are high, just not able to really fully connect there in the attack. And the post getting in the way as the post does quite a few times, and it's a tough night.
Mikey Maldonado throws it into the 18. Nick Ross heads it out. Leggett will continue the head out to Maldonado, who whiffs on the kick. Patino gets it to the back line. Leggett, who intercepts. Monterey Bay looking for one final build to see if they can end this scoreless draw. Glasgow marked there by Patino. Worked out wide. Nico Gordon. Belmar Joseph. Glasgow looking for a cross. Cuts back against Akeem O'Connor-Ward, then sends it in. Crognale will head it towards the edge of the 18 and bounce back out.
No, I think the matchup between Akeem O'Connor-Ward and Glasgow has been the best matchup on the field. I mean, there's been some tussles, but clean tackles too, and I think it's just been a great matchup over there on that side of the field.
Belmar was pressured away from the penalty arc and then just throws it away into touch. SAFC with a little bit of time to develop something. About 3.5 minutes left, I would say. And SAFC certainly taking their time on this throw. Jorge Hernandez.
And I think they'd be happy to walk away with a draw on this, the single point, considering the circumstances. Just maintain position and let time tick down.
Monterey Bay, on the other hand, thinks that this could be a missed opportunity. But as you were saying, the goal frame could be the MVP for Monterey Bay tonight, as SAFC had 2 opportunities go off the post and the crossbar.
Yeah, it's really not uncommon to see Jorge Hernandez miss a PK. Just kind of feels like luck wasn't on their side. I don't know if you saw in the World Cup, a witch doctor put a curse on England's Harry Kane and then lifted it at the last minute, where he did score 2 goals to get them through, and then they tried to say that he put it on Argentina so Cabo Verde could get through, and they almost did. I mean, they were undefeated in 90 minutes, but took Argentina to double extra time, and you know, it makes you wonder if there's not a witch doctor out here that has SAFC on their list. But yeah, I would be taking away from the effort here of Monterey Bay, and they've done a great job just handing back to SAFC that physicality and hanging in there, not giving up anything too silly either.
It's bad luck to be superstitious, Katie.
Oh, yeah, maybe so. But I'd be remiss to not mention that. It's been one of the top social media storylines in the World Cup. And, you know, when you...
Mitch Tainer shoved into the expensive LED boards, and he and Elijah Paul had to be separated, and more players come in here, we have a brouhaha.
Wildly unnecessary to be throwing another person into the boards there.
Well, Tainer gets checked like this is hockey. And now he's certainly slow to get up. I wouldn't be surprised if he took some of this damage in the scuffle that happened after. Elijah Paul will be issued the yellow card, I believe, or they might call this on Mitch Tainer. Let's see. That should be on Elijah Paul, and then Tainer with the retaliation that escalated.
I mean, you could see Tainer there holding back with all his might to not react poorly, and I think all things considered, it wasn't a bad reaction. Elijah Paul, I think much higher quality of a player than that. But, I mean, there's a lot going down on that field. You can tell he wanted his last say here in these final minutes.
I think Blanco was shown the yellow card there a moment ago, but he meant to give it to 20, not 24. So Sergi will now track down and issue, a red card. So that'll go against Mitch Tainer, who's already in pain. Well, this is just adding insult to injury and time to our stoppage time.
Okay, full stop. There is no way on earth that should be a red on Mitch Tainer. He was thrown into the wall. He came back, stopped the guy. Yes, he put his hands on him, but he didn't unleash on him. I think a red would be a hit. It could be a second yellow potentially, but I'm going to have to go back and look to see if he's received a yellow.
There have been many yellow cards given out this evening. I don't remember Mitch Tainer being one of the receivers. One more look at the incident with him and Elijah Paul.
You can see there he goes, and all he does is grab his jersey and stand him up. So looking to see here if he's sitting on a yellow. If he's sitting on a yellow, I guess maybe that's the situation. And we just got word that it was his second yellow. So it wasn't a red infraction. It was the double yellow. And it's most likely those pushes that came after the fact. So now you've got SAFC down with some of their best players, and just like that, they called the game, most likely to keep things from escalating further.
Seemed appropriate there, as these two teams play 180 minutes on the season and no goals scored between the two of them. Both teams walk away with a hard-fought point, as we are scoreless after 90 minutes of soccer here in San Antonio on Independence Day, in a game where we had plenty of fireworks between both teams. Well, we just saw a fun one despite no score there, as it's a tough one between SAFC and Monterey Bay. San Antonio FC remains undefeated here at Toyota Field, while Monterey Bay is still yet to win a match against SAFC in their club existence. For Kate Goodman and the rest of the crew, I've been Carl Schoening saying so long from Toyota Field, where we're scoreless after full time between Monterey Bay FC and San Antonio FC. We'll see you next time here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.